you are a professor at the Harvard Kennedy School, and that's historically the school that has received most of the fellows from our program, Lemann Fellowship. How do you think the master programs at Kennedy School can help Brazilians interested in acting with public policy and public administration here in Brazil?
The Kennedy School is a school of public policy and public management. What we are trying to do at the Kennedy School is to train people for leadership careers in public service. And we understand public service very broadly. It could mean working in government at all different levels. It could mean working in an NGO. It could mean working in the private sector, but on areas that involve the public good, or interacting with the government, or with the not-for-profit sector. What makes a Kennedy School degree, I think, unique is that what we're trying to do is train and encourage leadership and applied problem solving. So what matters to us are the ideas, the practices that are going to have an impact in the real world. So we're interested in theory, but mostly we're interested in how theory becomes relevant for the real world. So for Brazilians, a degree at the Kennedy School can mean a greater ability to understand issues that are facing the country, a greater capacity to understand options for responding to some of these problems, and greater ability to think about the feasibility in Brazil of some of those options.
You mentioned one of the strengths of the school that would be focusing on practice more than on theory, although we have theory too. That was a question I had for you. If you would highlight the biggest strengths of the Kennedy School. And you also mentioned the network, which I think is something big there, right?
Well, I am of course prejudiced, but I think the Kennedy School is one of the most wonderful places in the world for learning and teaching. It's an incredibly vibrant environment because our students are engaged not only in their studies, but in talking about and thinking about and acting about some of the biggest problems that are facing the world today: education, infrastructure, energy, sustainable development. They are actively engaged in thinking about and trying to find solutions to some of those problems. They come together from 40, 50, 60 different countries every year to exchange ideas, to exchange interactions, so that someone graduating from the Kennedy School has a network around the world. Someone who comes from Brazil and is supported by a Lemann Fellowship does not only have a network around the world, but also has a network here in Brazil with the other Lemann Fellows. We at the moving back to the David Rockefeller Center for a minute, one of the things that we do is actively encourage the interaction of those who have come as Lemann Fellows with each other, with other students, with the faculty, so that when they come back to Brazil, they have the capacity to interact around some of these big problems that the country is facing, to get on the telephone and say, hey, João, remember me? We were classmates. And to work across sectors and across departments in government, across ministries, but also across the private and the public and the not-for-profit sector, to work together to find solutions to some of the problems that this country is facing.
This is great for the program. I mean, we are more and more focusing on people committed to solving crucial social problems in Brazil. So this network is definitely going to help a lot.
We certainly hope so. I mean, we're betting on it.